Shilpa's gonna be first up versus DJ Flex, as Flex is gonna just be able to rip him apart with a big death shock him right around the corner. Shilpa's sticking to his guns, playing that frost death. Then it's gonna go for a quick blind onto Flex. Flex did already tricking something. There's gonna be quite a bit of damage for Shilpa's. Does himself the grippy hand, stun on DJ Flex, trying to see if he can sprint out of there. Is gonna be able to maneuver around him, but a big back-to-back blitz are actually just gonna be terrifying. Got himself a bit of a heal. Survival of the fittest. Shilpa still has a lot of damage in the rating, but definitely needs to play very defensive. Man to burn a death back here really early on, trying to see if he can stay aggressive as best as he can. Got himself as much healing as possible. May have to go just strike it off of the pet. Barely escaping that explosive. May just have to go death back. You may have to go death back right now. My god, the kill shots are so deadly. Does have a trinket trap next to him, but it looks like AMS is gonna come out for Shilpa's. Honestly, it looked like a spell warden for a second, but there was a proper AMS that let him walk over the freezing trap and not get frozen. Feltor is gonna be right next. The Felmon pops over on his paladin. Try to see if he can slay down Chill. Chill looking for a couple of those death strikes, but you gotta be in melee of a paladin who can just global you in just a few hits. You have to play very defensive. Honestly, I think he may just want to kite him. Blind missed it. That could really Chillpill's back right now. That blind would have been amazing. Does get himself some damage. Full stun onto Feltor for just a second. I don't know if you can silence him or anything. Mainly the AMS for the next global, but an auto attack could just end you right now. AMS is up, protected from holy damage, but the physical damage is still going to be able to blast right through you. A Wake of Ashes absolutely just decimating right through that AMS. And that's going to be a silencer fall. So Feltor is unable to really go for that range damage. Just trying to deny him, avoiding him entirely. Barely any health available. If Shilpa somehow recovers in this one, that would be incredible. As Feltor chasing after him, immediate human racial to break out of that stun, as Shilpa is just trying to give Feltor at least any kind of like hindrance. Blind missed by Feltor, which is actually going to give Shilpa an opportunity to potentially make something happen. The auto attacks to the wall are going to give him that Seraphim either way though, which is super unfortunate. Got himself the AMS, at least protected from holy damage. Able to think to maybe wait out one of the Wake of Ashes. Bubble up right now for Feltor. Shilpa is going to play super survivable. I don't know if he can really heal in this situation. Does get himself the grippy hand. All the cooldowns available. Made us have to go for the big Hail Mary. That's going to be a stun to Feltor. Maybe get it. Oh, Mega Blitz barely surviving it, but does end up coming out on top either way though. That was super unfortunate. I felt like that game was not in his favor whatsoever. Was able to buy himself just enough time to survive, sacrificing the main pet as he summons it immediately with a Lichborn just to give himself some death coil healing. And a Taker tried to go for actually no, the main pet hasn't been sacrificed yet. Can still sacrifice at IBF immediately versus the Rogues Go, as A-Taker got himself Evasion at the ready blind, while Shadowblade's also rolling in. So that's a lot of cooldowns overlapping together. But I think it still is worth going in for a blind just to make sure you get himself a proper reset. Definitely better use it than not use it. Death of the Kids can be down, putting the Rogue out in the open. If only Shilpa still had that goal to maybe send it over there and harass A-Taker just to keep him away from stealth for just a moment or longer. Gonna be stunned right as the Rogue trying to go for a bit of reset. Does Shilpa have himself a big go? He does have a proper go, but will not really be able to execute the damage until later. After that stun, it's going to be a DR onto A-Taker. It definitely wants to maximize the value of his Pillar of Frost next time he gets a proper go versus Rogue, but does leave the Rogue with a Frosty Fever, so at least he's going to have a Rogue dotted up with Death and Decay is kind of like singeing at his feet. Going to be a Shadow Strike. Does get him some more Switcher. Cloak Shadows by the Rogue, avoiding that stun entirely. MS is up for Shilpa. Does go for a proper stun versus A-Taker. Does he go in for damage though? Does go in for some resources. Got himself the big grippy hand. Try to see if he can get the Rogue out in the open. Death and Decay does get the Rogue for a second. That's going to be Whelp. I think does connect for just a second. But the Rogue is still in stealth. That Vantage does keep him snugly in the shadows. And unless Shilpa randomly walks on top of the Rogue to randomly just AoE him out, yeah, A-Taker definitely gets himself a full reset. IBF coming back at least 10 seconds, so maybe he could use that to break out of the next stun of A-Taker. Shadow Strikes in the opener, blind immediately to disrupt the Rogue, still holding on to the trinket, so the Rogue could maybe still have himself a proper go. The pet is going to be spawning in, so hopefully get some maybe clone action onto A-Taker. It is going to end up attacking him a little bit by bit. Get himself the Howling Blast, get a shot into Shilpa, does have himself a normal human ratio for this one with an AMS to follow to be able to counter the Shadow Blades. Stun off of that Remorse's Winter. That is a trick out of the Rogue though, off of the initial Remorses. So Shilpa's maybe if he could just live long enough, get himself another Strangulate with full cooldowns, maybe could have someone for the Rogue. The pet is going to start attacking the Rogue though, at least keeping him out of stealth and in combat. And eventually the pet should be going down. Vanish out of the Rogue really early, does drop out of Death and Decay. But looks like A-Taker does not have any dots on him whatsoever, so it does give himself a proper go. Maybe Triples could still sacrifice the pet because the rogue is kind of nearby. Still wants to take down the main pet, at least generate comp points off of it. IBF out of Triples, trying to see if he can maybe give him some survivability. Shadow Step out of the rogue, trying to see if he can juke out chills. Does he get to do it the second time? Grip, but Triples instead. Does the rogue have a Shadow Step? No, he does not. Chain of Ice, but the rogue has himself sprint, trying to see if he can use maneuverability to break out of it. Big Obliteration's coming through, then cheat death. Can it cheat it? No, he can't cheat the death. That is Triples though. But Demonic gonna be up next from one rogue into the next. Triples gonna be under a ton of pressure. Big Shadow Blades at the ready. Shadow Strike secret technique. I don't know if you can live this one unless you got yourself a death pack in just last second. Triples on a mission. He really is low. He really is. He doesn't want to let these strikes out of his sight. Did as best as he could there. Lexi gonna be up next. Blaze Storm and absolutely just blendering TM Demonic. Trying to see if he can walk over the spear. Does get himself a vanish, but the spear wouldn't let you walk anywhere at all. As Demonic just trying to see if he can find himself a bit of cover behind the pillar. Storm Bolt onto Demonic does go in, charging in with a big War Breaker. Parry up for Lexi really on. The rogue does go in for an evasion. Lexi charging out, can overpower the rogue. The quick fear to follow. Does that maybe a big damage go off of that fear? Try to see if he can chip away at Demonic's health little by little. Disarm to follow. Battle stance is up, but it's actually going to jump off with Demonic falling off with that Shadow Step as well. Demonic does dive into restart, but the whirlwind is going to get him out in the open. Get a shot versus Lexi. Could trick it. Does just trick it. Do they have anything here? Defensive stance, just trying to see if he can survive the stun on Demonic. That's going to be a cheap shot as the rogue trickles out of it. Does Lexi have a heal right now? Trying to see if he can just sleep away for just a moment. And that's going to be maybe survivability. Trying to go for a Warlock Hellstone, but I think Lexi may be going down either way, though. I could tell Lexi was lagging a little bit there. Definitely could tell Lexi had a little bit of lag. Gaza trying to see if he can just stay on top of Demonic, not let him out of his sight. Cheap shot, DR super fully. And it does end up taking him out either way, though. With Devastator going to be the last one left over for the team one. Trying to go for big damage with a mastery buff on versus Gaza. But the rogue does vanish up out of there entirely. Just trying to see if he can get out of there scot-free. Root onto Gaza as he's trying to see if he can get some blast in there. Going to be a hover, trying to see if he can maybe walk into that smoke bomb. Devastator going in for a big deep breath. Is it enough to take down Gaza? Gaza trying to see if he can bail out of there. Cloak of Shadows vanish. We use every defensive actually being used all at once. Was it a vanish? Might have been Shadow Meld actually. But Devastator does get him with a sap? Wait a second. I thought this man actually had so much damage. I thought he was totally in combat. Apparently not though. Crazy. Gaza does get himself a full reset though. That is a Cloak of Shadows. That is evasion. Everything got used. Has a blind for Devastator. But maybe the Evoker might be able to pick up the eyes. If he can find the rogue before he finds him, he'll be in a fantastic spot. He knows where the rogue is at. He has the angle on him. Sav comes out either way though. But it's super short. Does get the claw onto the rogue. If he can somehow just get a bit of damage before the cheap shot comes out, and there goes the cheap shot. Trinkets out of it, decides, you know what, I need to play very, very defensive here. I need to respond. Get a shot right after. Gaza may just have him here either way, though. Oh, that is unfortunate. That is I like him, Mog. That is unfortunate, though. Unfortunate. Chill Pills with 3. Gaza does bring it back for the team, though. Well done, boys. Let's get ourselves another good one here, yeah?